everyone, this is Crafting for Mommy. My name is Paz and welcome back to my channel. Last week I already got the second installment of the Diamond Press Marquise Autoship. So it is a set of dies, folders, and stamp sentiments, and I've already started seeing the work of my fellow Diamond Press users from that Facebook group, and it's very inspiring and beautiful to see what they're working on. So I am going to put together a card today using these dies. On top of that, I'm also using one of the folders that we got from the embossing folder set from Diamond Press Marquise, and this is this was launched in HSN together with the Marquise sometime in March, I think, March or April. Check out diamondpress.com if they have it. Usually they bring things back. It takes a little longer, but they do. So that's what we're going to use. We're also going to use, as you can see, a lot of glitter cardstock. I did a tutorial yesterday of my snowman, the Hunky Dory and Crafter's Companion dimensional snowman card, and I managed to dig up an old Recollections 12 by 12 paper stack or card stack on glittered cardstock. So I am not putting it back in the bin. I'm going to use it in the next tutorials because the colors are just so yummy. Perfect for spring and for summer, right? And I'm also going to use a gilding wax. So if you don't have the Pebeo gilding wax, there's a similar product called Nouveau Embellishment Mousse in the market. The same concept, however, I find that this is easier to apply because of the texture of it and the consistency. The embellishment mousse is a little bit harder, but works almost the same way. Okay, so what I did is that I started cutting. I don't want to bore you guys with cutting so many of the pieces, just so I can show you more of the technique. And then, there's going to be still a bit of cutting, but at least I try to minimize it just so it's not too long on unnecessary things. Okay, so I'm planning to use this folder as part of my background. So what I'm doing now is that I'm just going to emboss this using a plain white paper cardstock. And since it is smaller, the size of my paper is smaller than the embossing folder, make sure that you line it up based on where you want the images to be. So for me, this is the most balanced perspective. So all you need to do is the folder in itself, you run it through the Marquise. No other plates, no other folder configuration necessary. And just look how beautiful that embossed, right? Now that's the good thing about the Marquise, is that it's just very easy to get things done because it's a basic folder system. Okay, so before we move on, let's tackle this just so we can get going. Okay, so this is just going to be a little bit messy, but nevertheless it is fun. So what I'm using here is the Pebeo gilding wax in Empire Gold. So less is more in here. So I have my glass acrylic block to take the excess off, and see I still have a bit more of that, but I can make that work. Let me just zoom you a little bit just so you guys could see what I'm doing and what the effect of the gilding wax is. There you go. So I just tap this lightly to where I want the gilding wax to be, and what I am doing is that I want the gilding wax to be on those birds. So this is just like finger painting, just a little bit. You're just a little bit conscious on what you are putting in and the amount of wax you're putting in. It's always easy to build as you go, because if you put in a big blob, from the beginning, it's hard to take it out. I don't think you can even take it out. I don't know of any method or tutorial of descaling whatever it is that you have already put in the gilding wax. So I'm just putting this in because I wanted to bring to life and add a good dimension on the embossed design of birds that I'm doing in here. Okay, hold on a second. So there's gonna be definitely overflow from your mat. Just swipe your finger in there and just use every bit of it. Let me just close this. I don't want this to get dry. Close it tightly, and then whatever is left over, either on your craft mat or on your acrylic block, then that's what you use. Okay, let me just get some tissue, because what I've seen Sarah Davies from Crafter's Companion do is that she buffs this. Oh yeah, so look, this is not buffed, this is buffed, and there's a difference when it comes to the shininess of it, and also how flat it looks on paper. So might as well buff, but buff it gently please, because you don't want to impact the embossed or the raised images on your cardstock. So just make sure that you're not undoing your embossing. Okay, so there. Ready? We'll set that aside. And then we are going to start with, embossing this. Hold on a second, let me clean it, because I've been playing with it during my prep work before I turned on this video. Okay, so I have a regular Miri cardstock. This is something that I buy from Create and Craft in bulk. They sell it to them, to their customers on a regular basis. So all you need to do is to just watch out when that would be. There's a sentiment, by the way. Where is that sentiment that I'm going to use? Hold on. Okay, I'm going to use the thinking of you sentiment, but I don't want to use it nested in here, because if it does nest, what will happen is that you're gonna cut the inside of this. I wanted my thinking of you sentiment to be in another color. I'm gonna use one of the glittered cardstocks, and I want this not to be cut. Whoops. I don't want this centerpiece to be cut, because I'd like that to be the background of this sentiment at a later time. So rather than blabbling about it, let me just show you how it's done. So let me zoom you guys out. There you go. Just so you can see what I'm doing with diamond press. I mean, when I first used this dies on the Marquise, I just can't believe how effortless it is to cut cleanly. This is small but mighty, and I'm very happy that I got it. I'm a fan of diamond press from the first time that they launched in HSN years ago. It was still with Crafter's Companion at that time. And they make me use every bit of scrap that I have. So just look at that. Let me get you guys, just in one pass, this is how clean it cuts. And you guys saw, I just lifted it once, everything fell off or still here on the die, which is very easy to clean with your brush, but it's here, right? Amazing.